Okay, this is going to be a video on how to use the Ouija board. First off, I'm going to go over what you're going to need to make it work. Of course, first off, you're going to need the Ouija board itself. I bought this one at Spencer's for like 30 bucks. You can make one on your own if you like, if you know what you're doing. The next thing you're going to need is the planchette or the pointer. It would come with the board if you bought it. If you need to make one, the good thing to use is like a light drinking glass or something like that. That would also work. You're also going to need some candles, some cheap candles to use if you're looking for the inexpensive way to go, or like the little tea lights. 50 come to this pack here. Bought this one at Walmart, the whole bag for like $3, and that'll work real well with that. Alright, next thing we're going to go over is basically kind of the rules you need to think about while you're using the Ouija board. Number one is you really need to have an open mind when you go in to play this. You want to have good intentions. No secrecy between the players that you're playing with. It really causes a lot of issues with talking to the spirit or communicating with who you're trying to talk with. Try to have some trustworthy people. You don't want a friend over there that's going to try to spell out, try to scare you or whatever like that, because it really affects how it works. And also notice that if you bless the board, it works a whole lot better, keeps a lot of the evil spirits out of it. Another thing you want to make sure you do, have more than one person. Never play this with one person. It could lead to some bad things from what I've seen. As far as how many people to have, I guess as many people as you can put on the little planchette there, more power to you, but it could get a little crowded, so you might want to watch that too. Next thing we're going to go over is the setting of where the session is going to take place. You want to have the session where you feel good about the place. It could be done outside as long as you don't have any bad feelings of where it's done around. Like graveyards or something like that. If you feel that you're scared, if you feel that something's there and it doesn't need to be, you'll probably get some bad spirits encountering you. Make it real hard to talk on the board, or a lot of jokesters on the board. Here is in the room is where we're going to be doing this one to show you how it works. You want to have the board placed in the center of the group. As you see here, I got two candles on each, one on each side of the board. That helps light it up. You want a candle behind each person that's going to be using it. So a candle there, and you want to try to close in the board of where you're at. Let's say a person is going to be sitting there with a candle behind them, one there, and one there. And even if 4 people are not going to be using the board, you can pull in your other candles to just bring in more lighting, but it's good to have a full closed circle of the candles. All lights and electronics, best if you turn them off, especially cell phones. It keeps from having interference on that for the best results. To go over a couple of things on the board here. Well, of course, you have your alphabet here, your numbers here, your yes, no, and your goodbye, sun and moon. The sun being good, the moon being bad. And this is where you actually close the board out. It's when you ask the spirit to leave. You usually want to try to start with your pointer roughly in the middle, perhaps. And the way you're going to hold it is with 2 fingers. Your first finger and second, somewhere on the pointer like so. Like I said, you want to have 2 people to do it. I'm just showing you real quick of how I got it going. Once you start, you want to have a clear mind. You want to clear your thoughts, put yourself in a good place in your mind, and once you're that, all members or other part of the session are clear, you would start to repeatedly chant the words, Ouija, are you there? You keep saying those over and over. The pointer will most of the time move. Once it moves to yes, The board is now open. At this point, you can ask. If you want to speak with someone particularly, you would ask at that time. And you want to be specific. If you want to speak with someone particular, be specific. And don't keep that from someone else, because usually you'll get somebody you don't want on there. So let your other player know who you're wanting to speak to before you open the board. You would say their name, or if not, you would just keep on going. To the next question would be asking if the spirit was then from the sun or the moon. The pointer would slide to one or the other. From the sun, you got you a good person. From the moon, you immediately want to tell them goodbye, 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 until it moves all the way to goodbye. If they say they are from the sun, that's when you can go ahead and start your communicating and your questions. You can ask just about anything you want. Just have respect for the spirit that you're talking with. You may want to have a friend that is just watching, or a bystander, to sit down and take notes of the letters being spelled. You can sometimes get kind of confused before the answer is done with, and forget what the letters spelled at the beginning of the answer were. So it's good to have one so you can later look back on and see what they said. Try to ask one question at a time by one person at a time. If not, the spirit may become confused and start to answer questions where they make no sense. Right. After all the conversation is over with and you're through talking to the spirit, go ahead and thank the spirit and say goodbye. Saying goodbye once should be fine. The planchette or the pointer should then go towards the goodbye area. Once it gets to goodbye, the board is closed and the session is over. So now it's your turn to see what you can do. We're going to do one and see how it turns out.